Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to be reviewing and testing Miracle Touch by Max Factor. This is a cream to liquid foundation. It comes in this funky little pot or jar if you like. It is brand new, it hasn't been opened, and it is in colour Natural 070. Let's face it guys, Max Factor is a really old-fashioned brand, isn't it? It really needs a revamp. If you're watching Max Factor, you need a revamp. My friend and I were chatting earlier on today, and we were just discussing how old-fashioned and old womanly Max Factor seems. So why Joseph went out and treated himself to this foundation, oh, it's upside down, especially when I found out that it's actually full coverage and I thought it was sheer coverage, is anyone's guess. But hey, I was depressed, I needed some retail therapy, and what better way to cheer yourself up than treating yourself to a new foundation? But in a few minutes, guys, we'll crack this little baby open and I'll slap it on my face and hope for the best. I got this morning. It was £14.99. I think it is it's 11.5 grams. So I don't know what that equates to in millage, but foundations are usually 30 mils or 1 fluid ounce. So it comes in a, oh, I thought that was glass. It's plastic. Cheap. Cheap and nasty. No, I don't think it would be. I mean, the colour looks pretty promising, doesn't it, guys? Well, if it's going to be full coverage, I'm not like a bloody clown again. As some of you guys may know at home, that it's my ultimate cosmetic goal in life, I suppose, to find a foundation which looks flawless on the skin and yet undetectable at the same time. Because I don't want to be walking around town or anywhere really, and people walk past and think, my God, that man's got so much foundation on his face. He looks like Danny LaRue. But yeah, Max Factor's Miracle Touch cream to liquid foundation, SPF 30, comes in a little plastic jar like this, or pot. On the back it says, you've got your ingredients and the description of the foundation. It says Max Factor X Miracle Touch cream to liquid foundation. Transformative foundation flows over the skin without settling into pores and lines for a smoother complexion with hyaluronic acid and SPF 30. And of course, for further info, we will need to consult Mr. Max Factor himself or maxfactor.co.uk. So, right, so this is Miracle Touch Foundation on Max Factor's website, the UK website. This natural shade, I thought in the shop, looked pretty fair. It is in fact the 8th darkest shade in, so there are 8 lighter shades in this, and the next one on from this is deep bronze or something like that. So I may as well, apart from looking like a clown, also look like a carrot. Who knows? Right, it says, want instant radiance. Show your glow with the best full coverage foundation. Shit. Miracle Touch Foundation's cream to liquid formula ticks all your boxes, or your base boxes, sorry. It's a super hydrating, lightweight and brightening on the skin while reducing redness and gliding over pores and imperfections. And then you've got benefits. Solid to liquid compact foundation, contains hydrating hyaluronic acid, and it's non-comedogenic. You've got a picture of a woman here looking quite glamorous, I suppose. She's got good skin though, I've got to give her that much. Step 1, warm Miracle Touch foundation between fingers before dotting over the skin. Step 2, using a foundation brush, sponge or fingertips, blend formula upwards and outwards from the center of your face. Step 3, build coverage where needed or use a touch of Radiant Lift Concealer to cover imperfections. Shameless plug there for another product. Upselling, why not? They all do it. And then it goes on to say you will also love blah de blah, and they show you a whole shitload of other bloody products. So we just crack him open. Let's get it open, shall we? So removing the security seal with barcode on. And this foundation comes with, just put that over there, Joseph. This foundation comes with its own sponge in a cunning little compartment hidden down here. It's quite a nice sponge. It's got an awful smell to it. It smells really synthetic-y. This has got those little perforated holes in the, well, I assume that's the, oh no, it's not. It's like it's almost like a braille effect sort of affair. And that's to hold the sponge, I assume. Right, let's crack the foundation open. How do you get it open? How are you supposed to get that out of there? Oh, No. No, can't get it open. How the hell are you supposed to get the bloody thing open? Right, close that one down. Do you twist or do you... Not very good, Max Factor. Not very good at all. How the... right. Unscrew the lid. Ah. After all that. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. All right, so it has a separate pan. This whole bit of plastic here comes away and these two connect and screw on there. And this little black thing obviously holds the sponge or punge, whatever you want to call it, down here. But what Max Factor are telling us to do is to warm some of this between our fingers, tap it onto my face, and then, what was it? Use foundation brush, sponge or fingertips, blend formula upwards and outwards from the center of your face. So what they want you to do is to use loads of this on your fingers and then warm it up. So you're wasting loads of product. We're not going to do that on my channel. No, bugger that. God, it's ever so bright today. But I'm typically British, aren't I, moaning about the bloody weather. Right, so I'm just going to use a sponge and I'm going to go straight in with that. So, right, let me just get you on a little bit closer, guys. It seems very unfair to me, Max Factor, that you made me have a bloody nervous breakdown because I couldn't get into the frigging thing. But now we've got it open. It's all looking good, guys. So I'm going to go straight in with my sponge. I don't ever apply primer or anything like that when I'm testing foundations because I tend not to wear primers on a day-to-day basis anyway. I might, where's my Miracle Balm? Oh, I don't. Did my mum take it? Faith. No, she wouldn't have done. Right. So what I'll do is I'll just take my glasses off and put them on top of my head. And I'll go in here and I'll just pick up some of this. Oh, shit. Doesn't smell at all. There's a very, very, very faint. It sort of reminds me of the IRL foundation smell by Revolution. But it's barely noticeable, guys, barely. And there's no way that's going to be full coverage. Absolutely no way. And I've got quite a bit of product on my sponge. Shit, sorry, I should have showed you that. Right. That's probably looking a little bit more promising. So what I'll do is I'll start on my forehead and apply him in. There's no way on God's earth that this is a full coverage foundation. There is no way. Absolutely no way. Which isn't what I didn't want a full coverage foundation anyway. I just put some more on. Sorry, guys. Joseph, you're not doing your job properly. Sorry. Right. This reminds me a little bit of. Does anyone remember a Clinique foundation called City something or other in the 1990s to the early noughties? That was a cream to a cream to liquid foundation, SPF 15, I think it was. Gorgeous foundation. Right, so I have to close my curtains, guys. Sorry, the sun's really bloody bright today. Right, guys, that's as much as I dare put on without it looking cakey or obvious. It's obviously a silicone based foundation, which means that it shouldn't in effect or in theory sit on pores or lines. It certainly shouldn't, it should float above them because these silicone foundations are very elegant and very sophisticated that they're supposed to float above lines and wrinkles and so on. But that's the foundation on. Colour match is good, I suppose. I mean, considering it's the 8th darkest shade. What do you all think, guys? Certainly not full coverage though, is it? No way on God's earth is that full coverage. So that's a filthy lie for starters. Oh, Max Factor, you are deceitful. Right, shall I put some more on and see if it builds up? Dare I? Why not? I'm not going out anywhere else today. I've already been out to the shops once, so put some more on, Joseph. Slap it on. Right. Gather some more product up. It does go on really, really nicely, guys, and I can understand why it is the price it is, because this is in effect a drugstore foundation. So, and it's at the higher end of drugstore. It's certainly not your Barry M or your Essence foundations. In fact, I nearly dropped dead in Sainsbury's yesterday when I first came across this and saw that because in Sainsbury's for some reason it was £16.99 and in Boots it's only £14. Now that's better. I mean, obviously I don't like a full coverage foundation, and this certainly isn't anywhere near a full coverage foundation. You've said that, Joseph, get over yourself. Right, moving on. Just put this little thing, and I will definitely wash this. That's a good idea to do that, guys, is every time you use a sponge, or these little buggers can harbour germs terribly. So, you know, do use fingers if you're concerned about germs. What I do is I get an antibacterial hand wash, and I just put some on the palm of my hand, put the sponge on in the palm of my hand, wash my hands together, do that 3 or 4 times until this little bugger is totally clean. But yeah, no, my thoughts on the Miracle Touch it does remind me a lot of the City Make. I think that was what it was called, City Makeup by Clinique. It was 3 or 4 times the price of this little baby, but I suppose not too bad. What do you all think at home, guys? Can I get away with wearing this, do you reckon? Obviously the eyebrows need sorting, but that's because eyebrows are inherently there in the middle of your face, aren't they? And they're going to get covered with whatever you put on your face. So is this worth the price? I don't know. I think what I need to do is go and have a look at my skin in daylight. And then that will be the true acid test, won't it? And then, oh, put your glasses back on so you can see. Oh yeah, no, that doesn't look at all obvious. Maybe a little bit on my forehead. Here it looks a little bit powdery, doesn't it? So, but there are 2 applications on there, but can't be bad, right? Really, guys, can it? Oh, what I'll do is I'll go and check this out in the daylight, and I might just fix my eyebrows and fix the whole stosh too. Back in a minute, guys. Right, beautiful ones, he back from the bathroom. What do you think? I think it looks a bit too obvious, actually. Mind you, there are 2 coats of this Miracle Touch foundation on. Is it called Miracle Touch? Yeah, it was Miracle Touch foundation on my skin, and I would never, ever, ever in a million years wear 2 coats of foundation, particularly one which purports to be full bloody coverage, which we know in fact isn't. So the big question is, can men get away with wearing Miracle Touch foundation? The answer is yes, I think they probably could. If you want gorgeous, flawless looking skin. I mean, my skin looks flawless now, doesn't it, beautiful ones? And I didn't warm it up with my fingers. Perhaps if I had have done, then it would have given me a far thicker coat, if you like. I'm not after a thick coat. I'm trying to get, you know, the most sheerest coverage out. And besides, it looked really pretty in the shop. And there is something about foundation, isn't there? It's almost like the promise of perfect skin in a bottle, which makes them so inviting, doesn't it, guys? Mind you, there is quite a nice sheen around my nose area and on my cheek. And bear in mind, there are 2 layers. Yeah, you said that, Joseph. And on my forehead as well. And we have built up, I'm not going to say it again, but so it's totally the wrong colour though, guys. Totally the wrong colour. I shouldn't have chosen natural. There's a shade, I believe it's called blushing beige or something. They had that in Sainsbury's yesterday. Boots didn't have it. Sainsbury's is much farther away than Boots, and I wasn't prepared to walk that far. Again, it's a lovely day today, but it's still quite warm, so I would have been sweating buckets by the time I walked back down to Sainsbury's. So in the end, I opted for the natural shade. I have had Max Factor foundations in the past in the shade natural, and they have worked for me, and I have had them in the shade blushing beige, and they have worked for me too. So yeah, I recommend this foundation, definitely. Yeah, whether it's worth £16 or not, or £15, I don't know, guys, but you're paying for the name, aren't you? All right, guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video review. Yep, review. And if you did, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Similarly, please do consider subscribing so you're notified every time I release new videos, which is pretty bloody regularly at the moment because I have no other life. And all it remains is for me to bid you beautiful ones farewell, and I shall see you all very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Lots of love, guys. See ya. Bye.